What? Huh? What?
Fishing rod.
Oh, yeah.
You got a net. Come use my hat. This trip is going to be so great.
So great.
What's going to be so great?
It's a great burden to have to leave our families.
We don't want to go.
You're listening to League Podcast, Curbcast, Life Larry, and the Pursuit of Unhappiness. I'm Matt Dursin.
Play Inferno here. You don't want to go back to one on that one? It's okay. Let's let it ride.
It's going to let it ride. This is episode 2. Go back and listen to episode 1 if you want. In fact, you should. But yeah, episode 2 of Life Larry.
You should.
Yeah,
The episode's called Farewell.
I know. I don't know where they get these names. Just for fun, I guess. Yeah. Before we get too far into it, I showed you this, but I want the listeners to see. I'm drinking a special beer in tribute. I bought
right
this
up to the
just
old
for
camera.
Yeah.
3 Bs.
Yeah. Well, that's Bissell Brothers. Bissell Brothers Brewing is the three. It's Burlington, Vermont, is where this beer is brewed, and this is
Burlington.
The Bissell Brothers Burlington. This beer is called "Here's to Feeling Good All the Time," and I didn't show you this earlier, but here is Kramer in that sweater, drinking the beer and smoking a cigarette right there.
Oh, nice!
Right there. So there it is.
Nice.
And I also noticed. Where is it? This is Elaine wearing the urban sombrero, and it's from that episode.
See, that's a little. Is that the same episode?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. This is a much earlier one.
We were talking about it, and it's like, I know the feeling good all the time, but the urban sombrero is like something I would need a refresher on.
Yeah,
like exactly puts me where my Seinfeld fandom is. Like, I'm pretty good at knowing a lot of the stuff, but I don't know everything.
Well, I like it. They put some of them are more obvious than others. Some of them, if you know, and if not, they're still funny. So this looks like Jerry in the puffy shirt. I don't know if you remember that one, but he was wearing the puffy shirt.
Puffy shirt, the bat, I know these things.
And this looks like also David Putty wearing when he painted his face to go to the hockey game, the Devils game. So they've got a few Seinfeld references here.
I guess the Tick is on Netflix now, joining Seinfeld. I guess.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Patrick Warburton. Warburton. Yeah.
Warburton.
Funny dude. He does a lot of commercials, though. I like it. But so this is a special beer just to record this and to drink.
I got my Fairy Coke, which I had to cheat and tell the machine over there that it was a regular Coke because this barcode wasn't scanning on the little WeWork refrigerator thing. It said, item not recognized. And I thought for a second, it's not recognized, so maybe it won't recognize my me walking away with it.
Yeah, it probably would.
No. I took it on a regular Coke. I scanned that and put it back.
What a guy!
I paid for it.
What a guy!
There's cameras everywhere. There's a camera right there.
It's true. He paid for it. All right, but speaking of Seinfeld and all these Seinfeld references on this can, it has Jerry Seinfeld in it as
so good
as Clark. Larry is Meriwether
Clark fame,
and yes, Jerry is Clark.
You remember that I have a knowledge drop, like real historical facts that we can drop in here at any given point before the skits.
Because I don't know a lot about the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Lewis was accidentally shot by his own crew. On the return journey, Lewis was mistaken for an elk and shot in the thigh by one of his own hunters, Pierre Cruzat.
Oh my God, elk.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. And then one more, and then and it kind of relates to something we'll be doing later on in our evening of podcasting, but an enslaved man belonging to William Clark was named York. and he made the entire 8,000-mile journey. He and Sacagawea were permitted to participate in the expedition's voting, which is believed to mark the first time an African-American and a woman cast a vote in the U.S. history. Because I guess you have to run it like a democracy. It's like, are we going to go here or are we going to go there?
Oh,
And
okay.
the enslaved person and the woman were given a vote.
I like that. That's great. How about that? Oh,
Now
beautiful.
let's get back onto the silliness.
Now, yeah, imagine
You're the
that.
silly
Fair?
guy. I'm the serious guy.
I
You're
know,
the silly guy.
but imagine that. Fair and free elections. No cheating, no rigging.
We'll get there.
All right, we'll get there. So the scene here, though, is Larry, as Meriwether Lewis, comes home to his wife, played by Rita Wilson, who is really funny. I like her a lot. But so she's there, and he's coming home. He's like, oh, I met the president, and all. He's very excited, and he said Jefferson has tasked him because this is just after the Louisiana Purchase. They have just bought all this land.
It's like, what's everybody talking about in Washington? Well, whatever the big news is, Louisiana Purchase, big news.
Big news. So he says that he has been tasked by Jefferson to go and explore this land. He needs maps. He needs. And she's kind of like, I got chores to do around here. There's stuff to be done. We gotta all this whatever you do back in the day, like around the house and whatever. And,
Well, it's funny. She's like, we got to tan. You have to dig the latrines before the rains come.
Yeah.
We got to brine the pickles.
I know. And you can tell too. It's so funny. He walks in, he's trying to butter up. He's like, is that a new bonnet? You can make anything. And he's like, yeah, I just made this. And he's like, oh, you can make anything you set your little hands to or something.
Yeah. And on Curb, like just how fantastic it was, but like you can tell when stuff is like being improvised, but by really talented people. Like you can make anything. I made it myself. It's like there was this script for this skit was probably 5 sentences long.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's only 3 people.
It's only 3 people.
It's only Rita Wilson, Jerry Seinfeld, and Larry David. And Jerry and Larry have obviously could do this all day. So and I'm sure Rita Wilson is in there too, like in that clan of people who could handle this.
Yeah, exactly.
She is really funny. So what happens is, anyway, like he comes in and he acts like he's got this thing he's got to do, and he's got to go with Clark. Oh, he's the president. He's sending me with Clark. He's like, I don't want to go with Clark. He's got bunions. Like, it's like what?
Yeah, and she's like, your best friend.
Yeah.
But Larry's trying to make it like,
no, we're friends.
He's trying to make it like typical like Jerry Seinfeld Curb, like they're fucking up to something, like Larry and Jeff or Jerry and George, they're fucking up to something. It's like it's a definition of a coincidence. He doesn't even know him. Like your fishing buddy, buddy Clark. It's gonna go.
He's like, I don't want to go. You think I want to go exploring with Clark? But,
he has bunions. He's a bad climber.
He has bunions. Yeah, all he does is complain. So then, but then Jerry asks Clark, he knocks on the door, he opens it, and he's all like, hey, Clark, how you doing? And he's all like, oh, good. And she says, oh, how are your bunions? And he's like, oh, yeah, they're good. Like he says, what is it, like the widow's bark or something like that? There's some kind of bark.
Willow. It's like
willow bark.
Like willow bark. And
he says, yeah, I've been chewing on it. And she's like, you're supposed to rub it on the bunion. He's like, well, I do that too. I do the rub and chew.
I do a rub and chew. I do a rub and chew.
So anyways, they're all, because they're treating this just like 2 bros, hanging out, of course.
Yeah.
And they're all excited because she goes, like, she leaves.
It's like, it's it's Jeff and Larry, and she's Susie.
Yeah, right. So she leaves, and she has this look on her face like, I don't trust you guys or whatever. And,
Yeah.
And so they're like,
and then Jerry goes,
high five it.
that's a lot of laundry for one person.
That's a lot of laundry for one person.
Because in the skit, she's been the only person home. But he comes home and she has this big laundry basket.
Yeah.
It's a lot of laundry for one person.
It's insinuating that maybe she's been seeing other people. I don't know. But yeah, so it's really funny. So they go outside and they're all excited and they're like high-fiving. And he's like, yeah. And he says, well, we do have to do some, because they're like, we're going to go fishing and hunting. And he's like, well, we do have to do some exploring. And he says, what does that entail? It's like, looking around. And then they have this kind of very like sort of funny or poking fun at he said, can we bring squaws? He said, you can't say squaws anymore. There's actually several references in these two episodes about like Native American or I guess indigenous people.
It's like, what about teepee? I think teepee's okay. He's like, teepee. What about wampum? And Larry's like, it's kind of a gray area.
Of course, this goes back. Go back and listen to our Ken Reed episode of, what did we call it? The Seinfeld Chronicles or something like that. But we did an episode with Ken about the cigar store Indian.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to go back and listen to that. But they had that whole bit where like he didn't want to say reservation. He didn't want to say scalping tickets. It was all very like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is kind of in that vein. But anyway, so like they're talking to Mavis again, and he said something about they bring up this funny thing which I thought was it's like, well, it's she says Clark and Lewis and and he goes, well, it's Lewis and Clark. Come on. He's like, yeah, but alphabetically it comes, Clark comes first. And he's like, yeah, well, ham and eggs, like eggs comes first alphabetically, but you say ham and eggs. You don't say eggs and ham. So he doesn't want to take like second billing.
Yeah, but Jerry goes, yet it tastes the same. Yet it tastes the same.
Yeah. So, and it goes on a little bit. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, because she already said that that Clark was like his fishing buddy. He's like, and you're going to be fishing. And it was like, where the survival fishing. We gotta eat. We gotta eat.
Yeah.
We gotta eat.
You gotta survive.
But earlier they were like, you gonna bring your rod? Do you have a net?
Like, no, I don't have a net. You gotta get a net. I'll use my hat. He says, which is great. So anyways, so at the end, Clark says, hey, I think we got it. Can you come over to my house so we can convince my wife? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. And they start walking in opposite directions. And he's like, what? Where are you going? He's like, I'm going to your house. It's like, well, I live that way. He's like, no, you live this way. So it's kind of like these guys are fucked. But
yeah,
it was just
but I also thought that I thought it was like I've been thinking about that ending a little bit too much, probably for this podcast that we're doing about this skit show that Larry David has done, and like how they end all of the skits, like is like all improv and whatever, and it was probably one take, but I was like, they couldn't come up with a better ending for that. Like, I just thought it was like a little low effort / like,
yeah,
but also a little bit grandstanding, because Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld don't need to end their skit on a button. They're fucking Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld, so they could do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, but they want to end it on a button. I agree they could have had a funnier button. But I think because they're comedic purists, they're going to want to
But I think that they thought that was funny.
They probably did. And
I'm not saying it wasn't funny at all.
Great.
I'm just saying it was like
right. I agree. It wasn't
like,
great.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't great. it was kind of silly and maybe beneath two men of their stature. But, you know, at the same time, they probably don't give a shit if we think it's funny.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter. It's still, it's funny, even if they were ending it on a dud in an ironic way that we don't understand.
Maybe that was. Maybe you're right.
Like, it's fine.
I'd rather
we'll just end it there.
Yeah, I'd rather they end it there than keep going and going. You know, when the joke has already, you know, been
and like even like Rita, they did like there's like some more back and forth about how before like I got to go convince my wife but Rita Wilson is really great because she's like, so what are you doing? It's like, who's going? Like, who's like exactly like Susie? Like, who's going with you guys? And it's like, you know, like some squaws. Some squaws.
Yeah,
like,
like
a couple Indian gals.
They're
Indian gals. Firm, they're gnarls. They know where they're they know where they're going. They know where everything is.
I know they're gnarls. Like, what a great way to describe a person.
And like, how long are you gonna be gone for? A couple of years.
2 years.
Couple of years.
Yeah, and Larry's
like, I would be like, I'd love to be here with the tanning. There's so many things to skin and stuff here. I love grinding pickles.
It's like, the president. Yeah, he's got to do what the president says.
But him and Jeff are off to, you know, go fuck off and, you know, like do something. You know what I mean? It's totally like a Curb, main character's Curb situation. Yeah,
we got to do this. You know, the other funny thing is, so there's a couple. I think this is something they do a little bit like in this show where he says, "How is Jefferson? You saw Jefferson?" He's like, "How is he?" He's like, "He's a bit of a prick." So I think,
a prick.
I'm going to ask you, in your opinion, informal poll here. Do you, if there are just a couple, like the normal insults? I don't mean one that he made up, but if Larry has like, I think my opinion, his two favorite insults are prick and asshole. Those are those are his go-tos. Not like schmohawk or anything like that, but like I think if he really doesn't like someone, they're a bit of a prick, or they're just But if he gets really mad, he's like, "You asshole," you know. So that's just my opinion there. But
I would piggyback on something that I was gonna maybe wait a little longer, but might as well get it out now because we're only in episode 2. But there are so many. This is like ending the skit thing. This is like me with my opinion and my critique coming at this silly show, like we always do.
You with your
and
opinion.
including clear history and everything. There's so many, and I don't know if it's good. I honestly don't know. Informal poll. There's so many things like the January 7th and there's the do you respect Wood? There's so many like callbacks that I either love them or I hate them. I don't know how I feel about them. It's like, what is that there for? Is it there for like us super fans, or is it there for maybe somebody that likes Barack Obama that's watching the show because Barack Obama put the show on and they've never heard Do You Respect Wood before? Like, what is it? What are the callbacks for? What do you think about that?
I mean, well, maybe it's like, I'll go back to my can, right? I mean, if you know, and if you don't, you probably still think it's funny, right? Like, yeah.
Right.
This guy who puts a glass down on a wooden table, he must be a communist. And we'll get there. But it is definitely a callback to the Respect Wood thing. And there was another one, we'll get there, and I forget where it was, but we'll get there. But there was like
it's all through the whole thing, though.
Right.
There's probably one in every skit.
Right.
Almost. You know what I mean?
Where it was. Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, like there was. I think it's for us, but it's also funny enough that if you don't get it, you still think it's funny. I'm trying to be positive.
I like your if you know, you know. I'm not trying to be negative at all. I'm just saying, like, I'm like, oh yeah, all right. Do whatever you
if
want,
know,
Larry.
okay, and there's another level to it too, I guess, right? Because we have done this to death, right? We analyze these shows way more than we should.
Right.
But if you
Like, why do we have a podcast about nothing? Like, why?
Right. And we reference it all the time. We'll send text about respecting wood and stuff.
Yeah,
like
we're
that.
living our lives like it's Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right. But if you were a normal But if you were a normal person who probably watched that episode once when it aired and you haven't thought about it since.
Like, do you respect wood?
Then you
That's
see
a perfect example.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the episode.
Like,
yeah. And if you see it now, you might be like, oh yeah, they did that on that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right. It's those guys coming into our world where we're super fans, where they go, they think they're the super fan, and they explain to their friends, oh, do you remember that episode of Curb?
They did that on that episode of Curb. So yeah. So I think it works on. It's not necessarily for us. It's probably more for that person who watched it once and didn't think about it again until now. Yeah. But there's
and then like, also it's like
they're in the
who's
middle
watching the show. Yeah, it's a spectrum, just like whatever, like diversity and gender. But like also on the spectrum too is kind of like let's say Stacey's a perfect example of the spectrum, because she's like diametrically opposed to Seinfeld and Curb, hates it, but loves Drunk History. How many people are watching this because they like Drunk History? I think probably a lot. Point. Probably some people that don't really know, like they know Seinfeld, of course, but they probably never watched Curb.
Right. Yeah, well, I think Curb is definitely an acquired taste, and there's a lot of people who did not watch it. People like Stacey who just like, oh, I hate that kind of awkward kind of comedy, you know? So, but
she's always flipping to it on HBO to see if there's a new episode. I'm like, it comes out on Fridays. Is there a new episode tonight? It comes out on Fridays. She's like, how do you know? Good. I was like, look, it says Fridays at 9 right below the logo. Oh, that's where that is.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm glad they do it, and I hope that people, appreciate it for what it is, these little references. But
I'm glad they did too. But just like talking to our Chat GPT assistants or whatever, like sometimes you just got to work it out. Like these are the things I think about. It's like, how was the end of that skit? How are they doing too many callbacks? I don't know if they are. Well, help me work it out.
It's true. Yeah. Well, but I guess to put a pin in this, I agree that ending of the Lewis and Clark thing could have been a little funnier, but it's okay. I'd rather they end it there than keep going and drag it out. So there you go.
Yeah, it could be accidental text on purpose. It could be bad end of the skit on purpose.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Be. Just like, let's just do that and then just we're done. And maybe they, what? Like,
all right.
It's possible
maybe they come up with an ending.
Yeah, like maybe they had Jerry for like one day, and it's like, we got to end this. So this is how we're doing it.
And you're totally right too, which is like, because before I influenced your opinion on it, the joke that one line of the script on the paper is, do we go this way, do we go that way, is a vaudevillian joke that those two explorers are going to get lost. They don't know which path to go on. That is good on paper.
They can't even get to each other's house. Yeah. So that's the inference. And so it is kind of a theme as we see through this episode here. But this next one I think was hilarious. This is a short one. She's going to end on
this is good.
But this is good. So especially in light of tonight, we're going to supposedly get as we record this, we're going to get like a speech.
Yeah, don't even talk. I don't even know what you're talking about. Let me give you my knowledge drop instead.
Okay. Do it.
Saving ourselves from ourselves there, not you from yourself. Ourselves from ourselves. So This next one is about the Electoral College and the presidential election that Rutherford B. Hayes won, and Larry plays Samuel Tilden in the skit. And as Samuel Jackson tells us, five presidents got the Electoral College vote, got the popular vote, but lost the election.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? They got the popular vote.
They won the
lost
popular
the Electoral
vote, lost the election. Yeah.
So here's the, I haven't actually even read this, so I'm going to be like, if sounds like I'm reading this because I am. Samuel Tilden won the popular vote by 250,000 votes, but stopped exactly one electoral vote short of victory. 184 out of 185.
Can you believe that?
This says something about the 15-person tiebreaker. 4 states sent entirely conflicting election results, so Congress had to invent a 15-member electoral commission of politicians and Supreme Court justices.
What? I didn't know that. Oh my God. The group voted along party lines and voted for Hayes. His fraudulency, I don't even know what this says, actually. So his fraudulency, in quotes, angered by the backroom deal, furious Democrats named Hayes his fraudulency and Rutherford. He only got the keys to the White House after agreeing to a massive compromise, pulling federal troops out of the South, which officially ended the Reconstruction era. Wow.
There was
more to it than what Larry.
I like his fraudulency.
Than what Larry. Rutherford behaves.
Yeah, Rutherford is good. I like that.
I didn't know. I mean, obviously Larry's not going to cover all that, but I mean, there must be something to this. I mean, can you imagine Samuel Tilden? Like, just must have. He must have gotten.
I love Larry in this sketch. Larry in the sketch is so hilarious and over the top, and like smoking a cigar, and it's like he's got his rolled up sleeves, and he's so excited to play this role. Really funny. Call somebody a lick spittle. You lick spittle.
I don't even know what that is, but it's so
like
funny. So they're
talking insult. It's way old timey.
So they're talking. He's talking to I think his name is Matthew Jones, I think, or this actor is really funny. I forget who. I'm sorry. I'm going to look it up right now. But what the hell is his name? Matthew Jones. I should have remembered
Matthew Jones.
Because my name is Matthew. So he's in there. He's like, I'm going to make you the Postmaster General, the first Black cabinet member, and he says, "I'll deliver." Yeah. I think it's just the best. They're like, it's just so stupid, and they're just celebrating, and he's like, I don't want to sleep on Grant's mattress. It's disgusting. He smokes in bed. That's
so good.
He's like, don't worry.
He's like, do you think they'll probably just flip it?
He's like, I just flip
and then
it. Like, I don't want any of that. He's like, no, you know what they did. And he's like, no, it's disgusting. And he's like, do I have to pay for that? And he's like, no. The taxpayers will pay for it. He's like, what about tipping? Yeah. Do I have to tip them if they're going to move all that stuff?
And he goes, sometimes you don't have change. You have to give them $1.
He's like, you won't have to give them
He's like, no. I got my guys, but they're ready to go. He's like, it's the people's house. The people pay. He's like, the people pay. I don't know.
The guy comes in, and I don't know if you remember this guy from that episode of Curb there was a disturbance in the kitchen. Do you remember that episode?
Yeah. Well, this is
the guy. I forget his name now.
Isn't it Rich? Rich Fulcher
or something? Fulcher, thank you.
Rich Fulcher. He was on The Mighty Boosh, and he's done a lot of stuff. He's a British guy, but he's like, I think he is British. He lives in England and is on a lot of TV shows, but as an American, he was born in America, but he's in a lot of British stuff. But he's in The Mighty Boosh. I don't know if you've ever seen that show.
No, I've never seen it. But I just remember him from because so many of these guys.
Check this out. He's from Massachusetts.
Oh, all right. Very well. So it's great for this then. Maybe he'll be in the. Maybe they should have put him in the Tea Party scene later. But
right.
So he comes in and he tells him, "Yes, you won the popular vote," and they're all like, "Oh, And they start high-fiving and they're just celebrating.
Smoking cigars and stuff.
Yeah. And then he's going, but, and they're like, what? And he's like, and he, as you pointed out, he lost the electoral vote by 1.
Yeah,
and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And Larry just starts throwing shit all over the place. And he's like,
they set up a camera in like a little cabinet, a glass cabinet. And he and there's like a vase or something inside it. And he throws another vase and it breaks the glass and shit goes flying everywhere. And he goes, who came up with this shit? The founding fathers of Madison was here and punched him right in the face or something.
My favorite line, he says, the founding fucking father. It's just the addition of the fucking makes it so perfect in my mind.
Yes,
the founding fucking fathers. Yeah, and he said he would punch him in the face and all this stuff. And he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, you have to prepare a concession speech. And he's like, whoa! And he wants to go and strangle the poor guy. It's just,
and even though
so
there are
funny.
2 more sketches, last time we picked our favorite sketches. So this one was my favorite of the episode, even though there's the other 2 that are coming up are so good too. But this one was my favorite. It was just Larry being Larry.
I think so too. This one is just, it's really funny. Like, it's just him going completely off the page. And yeah, that's the best kind of Larry, right?
I'll deliver.
They're all good. I'll deliver.
They're all good.
I know. They're all good. It's like choosing between your children, but we don't have any children.
And I'm picking this over the one with Seinfeld in it. This
one is it's really funny because Larry just goes crazy. It's just too good.
I think maybe I like the brevity of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's short.
It's an explosion.
It doesn't have to go any long.
He's so excited, then he's so mad, and he throws. He's like, "Get out of here!"
I mean, just imagine in general. This has happened 5 times, right? Where someone has had to go in and tell the loser that they have won the popular vote, but you are not present. I mean, what would your reaction be? Right? Like,
it would be like you'd be calling
present,
people,
but
I would be calling you a lick spittle if you were.
Well, I mean, it's got to really suck. I mean,
old insult from Huckleberry Finn. I guarantee you, it's a Mark Twain insult, and somebody would be like, "Oh, I can't believe he called him a lick spittle."
Oh, a lick spittle. It is crazy. I mean, I don't want to get all political, but imagine this has happened twice. This has happened twice in our lifetime, in the last 25 years or whatever. This has happened twice now, or 26 years, let's just say, because it happened in 2000 and it happened in 20.
Well, we've lived half a century.
We're not young, but
a
it's still
century.
Crazy. In 250 years, a hay penny.
Right.
In 250 years, this has happened 5 times, and it's happened twice just in the last quarter century. But
right.
And he's like, "What is an electoral college? What do you mean there's an electoral college?"
Yeah. But, brother fraud. At which Larry yelled, "Brother fraud!"
I know. I love that. I'm glad you found that out. All right, but yes, brevity. So glad. All right, now we got to go to the next one. Though it's time to go.
Moving
on. We have this great soup kitchen one now. So we get the Samuel Jackson sort of history about the Great Depression, and people were committing suicide because of, they were horribly depressed because it was the Great Depression. They were out of work and there was no food and nothing, and it was terrible. So
this makes sense for me to do my knowledge drop after we talk about the sketch.
Okay. All right.
This
we'll do that. So Larry is in line with what is the guy's name? I had this guy's name.
Larry Whitmore, right?
Yeah. That's him, Larry Whitmore.
Yeah.
And he's very funny.
Funny dude.
Yeah, they're talking, and there's a guy.
Wilmore. Wilmore. I always say Whitmore. Larry Wilmore.
So they're just talking, and a guy comes up and he starts talking to someone in line, and Larry David goes like, "Hey, you're doing a chatting cut." And the guy's like, "What? I don't even know what you're talking about. What's a chatting cut?" He's like, "You're pretending you know that guy, and then you're just gonna cut in line."
Yeah,
for immediate family only, not even cousins.
yeah, that was funny. He's like, "No, we used to play baseball together." He's like, it's legit. And he's like, no, you get back in the line, back of the line.
Yeah. But obviously that comes up
and he's
later.
Like, who made you the authority? He's like, who made you the chancellor? He's like, my dad did, and now my dad's dead, so he made me the chancellor of the line with a chatting cut.
And this comes up a couple of times too, but he says, 20 years ago, I would have beaten the shit out of that guy. Like, I really wouldn't have, but it's good. It's cool to say. It's fun to say.
He's always like, not now. Obviously not now, but 20.
But obviously 20 years ago, he's like, 20 years ago, I wouldn't have done it either. But it's fun to say. So like he's talking with him, and so they're talking about this friend of theirs, Stu Mackey, and he committed suicide. Yeah. He jumped off a bridge. He's like, he left a long note and everything, thanking everybody. Saying goodbye to his wife and his friend, his closest friends, and his family and stuff like that. Yeah, he's like, "Oh, did he mention me?" And he's like, "No, I don't think so." But he didn't mention Larry in that. And he goes, "We were close. Why didn't?" Yeah, Larry's insulted. He's not in this guy's suicide note. It's like He's like, but I told him about how I got out of the Great War. Which he said, I just told him I was crazy. I said, I haven't left my house in 5 years. I can't go to fight. Yeah. And then Larry Wilmore says, I just told them I was a homosexual. I'm not, but that goes without saying. And he's like, well, then why say it? It's like totally a curb thing. Like, well, but sometimes it goes without saying, but you need to say it goes without saying. Say it. Yeah. But anyway. He said, then why say it? Why say it? Yeah, well, then why say it? But he's like, I thought we were close. I complimented him on his potato sack, which is like, that's what they used to wear. They didn't have any clothes and they'd wear a potato sack. So, they keep discussing that. When they get to the front of the line, Larry gets his soup. And he says, it's a little bland. Do you got any salt? He's like, no, there's no salt. We don't salt. We don't salt the soup. He's like, and the guy says, beggars can't be choosers. And he says, well, I'm a choosy beggar. Choosy beggar. And then they go and sit down after he's like kind of like I guess it's kind of like a no soup for you kind of situation. Whoa. They go sit down. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, well, no, it's very much a soup Nazi situation, because Larry gets back to the table and he realizes everybody else got bread and he didn't get any bread, which is exactly what happened to George on the soup Nazi episode. Right. So George got the soup. He looked in his bag and he said, oh, I didn't get bread. And Jerry's like, just forget it. Let it go. He's like, hey, can I get bread? And the soup Nazi says, you want bread? He's like, yeah. He's like, $3. And he's like, everybody else got free bread. And he goes, no soup for you. And then they take the soup back. So that was the very first, no soup for you thing. So I don't know if this is necessarily a callback, but it happened. It happened. He didn't get soup. He didn't get bread. So yeah, but also not the chat and cut part, but do you remember the Curb where he was telling everybody in the line that if you want seconds, it's okay if the guy went up to get seconds. Right. In the buffet line. The buffet line. You don't have to wait in line again to get seconds. It was kind of a merge of the soup Nazi and that one at the same time. Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Larry wants to go back up to get his bread, and then everybody yells at him because he had already yelled, and that other guy was like, "Hey, you're doing a chat and cut. You're a cutter." He's like, "No, I'm not cutting. I was already in line."
Yeah,
and then
repeat offender over here.
Yeah, and he says, "20 years ago, I would have beat the shit out of all of you." So he sees,
and that's when he sees the guy's widow, right?
Yeah, the widow, who is Kaylee Cuoco, who was also on Curb in the pirate's booty. Do you remember she dropped a pirate booty on the ground? Do you remember that one?
Also Harley Quinn, a lot of voice acting.
She's Harley Quinn, and she's really funny. I mean, she's great.
Yeah, she's good.
So he goes up to ask her because he wants to find out about this suicide note thing.
Yeah,
it's so
stupid. He ever mentioned me?
Yeah, and he says we were close, and she goes, That was great. For someone to say that to Larry is just classic, right? Because he always usually says that to other people. He goes like,
right.
When he says, we were close, and she goes, and she's all in black,
about Yeah, she's in mourning. He's like, he did tell me about how you deserted out of the war.
Yeah, and he's like, well, but I love it. He says, well, you can see how my feelings would be hurt. And here she is. She's like crying. She's talking about how awful it is. And you can see why my feelings would be hurt. She's like, really?
Yeah, that's what's important to you now?
Yeah, that's what you're thinking. And then he's like, well, look, let me ask you. This soup kitchen, there's a soup kitchen down the street. They have coffee. Why don't we go out and get some coffee? And she's like,
he's asking her on a date to another soup kitchen because they have coffee.
I know.
Yeah.
And he's like, we can go, we can talk, And she's like, I'm in mourning. And then he says, well, mourners have to do, mourners have to eat and drink. Mourners do everything regular people do, but they do it at a slower, somber pace. Which
yeah. Well, I would tell everybody, don't go hiking with a mourner.
Yeah.
Because
mourner?
Come on, mourner.
And then
she basically tells him to go away. And then he's like, do you think maybe you can get me another, grab me a piece of bread?
She says, get to the back of the fucking line. She's great. And then they all yell at him. But that was pretty good. That was classic Larry. Yeah.
Classic Larry. So I'll do my knowledge drop here. So Al Capone, notorious gangster, he ran Chicago's most popular soup kitchen. It was funded by public enemy number one, Al Capone. Long before federal relief programs existed, he fed up to 5,000 hungry people a day, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, rest in peace, Al Capone.
Rest in peace.
This is funny about the designer potato sacks. Oh, we didn't talk about that. Well, he was like, do you think maybe I could have his potato sack?
Yeah,
he jumped in the potato sack.
He jumped he was wearing the potato sack when he jumped. That's right.
And she's like, even Larry Wilmore was like, you complimented him on his potato sack? And then they show a bunch of people in potato sacks, and he's like, it's totally a Larry thing. Like, yeah, if you're going to wear a potato sack, his was actually nice. It's
look at these. They're all ratty and worn. Yeah.
So
do you know? So sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. No, I was going to ask. You talk about drunk history and your wife, who's not your wife, liking this show because she likes drunk history. Have you seen the Al Capone episode, Drunk History? It talks about
we've seen all of that. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
He had syphilis and everything. He was just a gross.
Oh yeah.
Robert De Niro in The Untouchables, he's like suave and cool and whatever.
Yeah, right.
In real life, he was just disgusting.
He was pretty disgusting in as a person in Boardwalk Empire. He was like a real. They had someone playing him there, and it was more like the real life one, probably. But check this out. So, designer potato sacks, when agricultural companies realized moms were sewing clothes out of cotton, potato, and flour sacks, they did something cool. They started printing their bags with bright, beautiful flower patterns and used water-soluble ink for their logos so that the branding washed right out. So you can have a nice potato sack. Yeah.
Interesting.
And then
you would think they'd want their logo on there, you know?
Well, they were like, okay, the people are using these, you know, like, let's let them repurpose this, upcycle it. Watery soup. The soup in soup lines was notorious for being hot water stretched thin with a few sad cabbage leaves. But the soup was so weak, the real prize was the accompanying slice of bread. It was once the only source of dense calories most people got all day, which is why the bread line stretched for blocks. So the bread was, he did get to the back, Larry.
So Larry,
even if you were the last person on Earth, he wasn't just share a liquid of any kind with you.
That's right. She did say that. I mean, but I mean, he had a point. Like if he didn't get his bread, like that was it for him for the day. Let's be honest, right? He wasn't gonna.
Yeah. He'd have to go to the other soup kitchen.
I guess get a cup of coffee. Yeah, sure. Even if I was not in mourning and you were the last man on earth, I would not.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I understand. All right, so here we go. This is the big one. I want to tell you about
this. Now we can get political. You go as political as you want on this.
Well, before we get political, I want to say this is a funny story. My mother-in-law doesn't call all the time, but calls, enough. We have a fine, whatever relationship. She
calls you?
No, just us. Not us, you and me, us.
On the fucking landline? What's going on over there?
No, we don't have a landline, but she called my wife.
She calling you or is she calling your daughter?
I don't have a daughter. Her daughter.
Her daughter. That's what I meant. I don't know why I'm giving you a hard time about this. They're calling you guys?
She called us one night, just out of the blue. I just was trying to establish context, but she called us out of the blue to say, do you watch that new show, Life, Larry, and the Pursuit of Unhappiness?
Get out.
And Rachel was like, wow. She did watch it, but she didn't love it. It wasn't her favorite, right? But it's fine, and she said, have you watched the new episode?
Like my wife, who's not my wife.
Right. So there's two different things here. I do have a wife, but this is not her favorite. But anyway, so she says, have you seen the new daughter? And she said, well, you should watch the last skit. And I had already seen it, and I had already told Rachel about it. But she's like, oh, I got it. It's so funny. You should watch it. It's so funny. It's so funny. So she really was a fan. That's all I'm trying to say. She was a big fan of this skit.
That's good. See? I bet she's not upset about the callbacks.
No, she probably isn't. She probably knows them all, too. She's a big fan. So, but anyway.
Nice.
But yeah, this is very timely and, very interesting, this one. Very political. But George Washington served 2 terms as president and decided that was it. That was going to be it. There were no laws. There were no amendments or anything at the time saying that he had to step aside, but he decided he should because, they were trying to get away from a monarchy and you should be president for a certain amount of 8 years. That was it. 2 terms.
And since this is basic American history stuff, and you said 2 of the things I would say, I'm going to bullet point them. He wanted to prove there wasn't a monarchy. It wasn't actually against the rules. And also, he was physically exhausted and hated the press. He wasn't just being noble. He was incredibly tired. At 64, his health was failing. And he was deeply stung by partisan attacks from newspapers that accused him of wanting to be king. So there we go. Wow. Now let's drop down. Carry on.
He was 64. I mean, back then that'd be like being 120 years old, probably, right? Remember in the last episode, Larry said, We only have 38 years on this earth.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Why spend them listening to people's dreams? But I didn't know that he was 64. I mean, that's fucking old for back then, man. So this is funny though. So in the Samuel Jackson like little pre thing that they do, he said he actually quotes Washington's speech. Where he says that there could be only cunning, ambitious, and unprincipled men would try to seek a third term, which I thought was really funny that they made sure to mention that.
Well, Samuel Jackson, like he's reading the copy, but he's doing it in a very Samuel Jackson way, and like, not improvising, but like he's putting some flavor into it. You know, it's like, stuff like that all the time. Like, well, I wonder what that's all about. So kind of things, you know, not quoting.
Well,
it
everybody knows.
You know what I mean?
It's not. It's not very subtle, but
it's great that it's what a perfect narrator for that little section. You know, it's like
totally
so good.
Yeah, I mean, like they cast him perfectly there. But before we get into it, we got to point out it's sad to see Rob Reiner as George Washington, who has since passed on in very sad circumstances. So, terrible.
What
they
a
even
great,
dedicated the episode.
In a way, kind of a great send off. Yeah, like to a tragic thing. Like what a great like last little role. You know what I mean? Like perfect for him and all he did for fighting for what's right and everything. You know?
I know. Right?
As sad as it is. As sad as it is. Yeah.
Of course.
I actually didn't kind of think it was him. I thought it was another actor or something when I first saw it.
Well, yeah, like because I thought, I
couldn't exactly see it.
I mean,
I just didn't. I thought he was. I don't know. I thought it was the guy that played Silvermane, the British guy on Spider-Man Noir. Yeah. What's that guy's name?
I don't remember. I can look it up. But the voice though was a total. I mean, that is Rob Reiner's voice. I could not. I was like, "There's no way, though," because I thought he had already died. Yeah. You know, but
Brendan Gleeson. It kind of looks like him.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell. They have all that makeup and wigs.
Yeah, the powdered wigs and everything. Yeah.
So, anyways, but Rob Reiner is playing George Washington, and he says he is stepping down because, you know, and every president should do this. You know, basically, there should only be 8 years, 2 terms. And then Larry David as just a guy, like he doesn't have a role here.
As Larry David.
What if there's some asshole in office who refuses to step down after 2 terms and George Washington's like, well, we will ensure that there will always be a peaceful transition of power. And he's like, but what if this asshole doesn't want to, and he's just doing this to enrich him and his family's own life, and he's doing it to cover up the fact that he's friends with a pedophile. And they just go on and on and on, and then
the Kimmel.
Yes. Oh, the Jimmy Kimmel thing is. Well, what if this man decides to challenge anyone who dare make fun of him? And he's like, he's like, I don't buy it. I thought that was great that Kimmel would said that. I don't buy it.
And then Kimmel goes, that person would have to be a gigantic baby. He calls him a baby.
Baby. It's so obvious, but it's perfect. I mean, of course it's obvious because this stuff is obviously, true, but
right.
I don't get into it, but it's.
I think I have to call back to another Curbcast for the pilot and that show, the papers, because there's probably a lot of little cameos, but that guy, that comedian Alan Havey, who was trying to sell Larry his house in the pilot, but he's also in the paper office, sequel thing. But I was like immediately like, there he is. And I was like, that's awesome. He was like in the pilot, and here he is in the most recent Curb
all
thing.
these years later.
Which is
yeah,
great.
I mean, is Larry just like calling up all his old buddies and being like, hey, you want to be in this?
I think
skit?
so. And they're
He must
probably
be.
like, he probably has like ideas, but probably people are like, oh, hey, can I be on?
Can I be- I mean, obviously
put on a fucking powdered wig. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, the Kimmel one is obvious. I mean, that's just obvious. Right. That's not just like, oh, we'll just throw Kimmel in there. I mean, that was for a reason, obviously, for effect. But yeah, some of these guys must be like, hey, you remember when you were on Curb 30 years ago or whatever?
Yeah, exactly.
Not quite 30,
so
but like 25 plus
I think that
years
guy's
ago.
from Massachusetts too, by the way. He's just really good on that show, The Papers.
The Papist. Well, it is, but yeah, like George Washington is trying to be like, no, it's going to be fine. We're not, it's kind of saying like,
we don't have to worry about
anybody. Yeah, we're not going to elect anybody like this.
Like he's just talking about these purely hypothetical situations. Let's not get worked up about it, basically. Yeah,
he's like, this won't happen. And then like this woman's just like, well, if they elected him, then they must have known that he was, a good man or whatever. And then he's like, fuck you or something like that.
I think Larry mentions that he's a pedophile twice.
Yeah. Because he's friends with a pedophile. And so, but that woman was like, yelling, and then just a fight breaks out, and they all just start punching each other and everything. And they mentioned like an insurrection and stuff like that. Right. Yeah. I know. Like, what if he causes an insurrection rather than a peaceful transition of power? And then they focus in on George Washington, and he just says, we're fucked. That's the end of the episode. And that is I suppose probably is this the last appearance of Rob Reiner? Like, on very screen? Well, I guess we could, we could look fact that up, check it, but we could say that probably yes. I would say probably yes. They did dedicate the episode to him. It says in memory of Rob Reiner. Yeah. So I think that's probably it. Wow, what a great way to go out, right? I mean, like, he was very, anti-Trump and very just a nice guy. Apparently, he was meathead on Archie Bunker. It's I know. Career and this is one of those clips that has a virality to it. Not only like your mother-in-law, but this is one of those things I see like on TikTok. What am I, 1,000 years old? Tic-tac. Oh, what is that? The ticky-tacky. What am I, 64 years old like George Washington? This is one of those things where people literally like take their camera phone and shoot the TV and then like post it as a clip. Like, you got to see this. You know what I mean? I've seen it a few times. It's like really catching on, I guess you could say. Well, I hope so. Right? I mean, that's all I gotta say. Yeah. I hope so. Yeah. I don't know, but it's funny. I like a powdered wig tri-corner hat sketch, and we have plenty of them in this show. Perfect. But great. It's also sort of. Do you have a tri-corner hat? I have one. Yeah. I don't even have. I mean, why not? I don't have a powdered wig either. I should get one because I don't have any hair. Who doesn't have a tri-corner? We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, I have one. That's great. If you want to borrow it, you can borrow it. That's what I think. You should wear it on our next when we record again. Use my finale. Put it on the finale. Yeah, I think you should wear it, and I'll get myself a powdered wig. Nice. All right, well, this is episode 2. Thank you so much for listening, and go check out all of our other Curbcasts. Go check out our Life, Larry, and the Pursuit of Unhappiness episode 1. We have a bunch of stuff up on YouTube or LeaguePodcast.com, and like and subscribe. Clear history. Yep. So check it all out. And last season of Curb.
some more stuff too.
Many seasons.
But and we don't know how much of this we're gonna get, so we're gonna enjoy it till the very end and push out these episodes as soon as we get them.
Yeah.
Done.
So enjoy them. Yes, we're gonna enjoy them. All right.
See you at the club.
Go, we'll put on a potato sacks and we'll get out of here.
See you at the club.
Thanks to you. We'll see you later.
In order to ensure the success of our fledgling democracy, I believe that no man should serve more than 2 terms as president. And I hope that future presidents will follow my lead.
What if some future president doesn't follow your lead and runs for a 3rd term?
There are remedies for that. The Congress can pass a constitutional amendment that would prohibit that.
Well, what if there's some asshole in office, some narcissistic prick, who doesn't follow the Constitution?
But rest assured, even if this future president violated the Constitution, then the Congress of the United States and the United States Supreme Court would not allow it.
But what if the Supreme Court is a bunch of yes men and Congress is a bunch of pussies who care more about party than country?
I can't even fathom the existence of such men. But to further ensure the success of this grand experiment, I would suggest that after every presidential election, there be a peaceful transfer of power, where the loser accepts the results of the election and full-throatedly endorses the victor.
Anyone who would accept the results of a free and fair election is a sociopath. A man like that can even foment an insurrection rather than just admit that he lost. What a cocksucker! He could use the presidency to enrich himself and his family.
No.
He could send troops into American cities to terrorize and even kill American citizens, all to distract from the fact that he's friends with a pedophile. He can attack universities, even the free press, silencing anyone who dares to criticize him.
Ah, come on. That could never happen.
That's what you think.
Are you suggesting that the president would take the time to challenge anyone who dare make fun of him as if he were a big baby?
A big baby.
I don't see it.